Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, and as always, no bullshit. This is where you could say we really miss Pat Bowlen. And there's nobody saying this but me, of course. And it has to do with this quarterback situation. The Broncos have been failing miserably with evaluating quarterbacks. They've been also equally failing miserable with developing systems for a quarterback to go into. Now we're going to a Shanahan system, and in one of my videos I dispel this idea that that the Denver Broncos have been running a Shanahan system all along. Okay, that is not what's been going on. I'll leave a link, and if you want to debate me on it, go watch that video, and we can have a debate. Okay, they were running a pocket quarterback system under Musgrave, running the David Carr pocket quarterback system with Case Keenum up until about 3/4 of the season. So, again, mismatching. So, for those of you that are out there, and you're really a dumbass when you say the backup quarterback is meaningless, it's a moot point if Joe Flacco goes out. Well, if he goes out for the season, probably is a moot point. In that, you're right. But if your backup is doing what he's supposed to do, bridging the injury, you're a dumbass. I just have you direct you to 2015 with Brock Osweiler. Without him, there would be no Super Bowl run. Bridging the gap for Peyton Manning. Okay? So let's stop the bullshit there. The Denver Broncos organization, again, missing Pat Bowlen. I don't think we would be in the situation right now with this quarterback dilemma. There would have been no Hogan, okay? That Hogan never would have been brought in. Again, this is John Elway and Company's completely bad vision for quarterbacks. The question is, are they even going to bring anybody in, or are they going to be stubborn? Are they going to be big-headed, and like they are at the front office, and say, we didn't screw up, we're going to stick with Kevin Hogan and hope for the best? That's what I think they're actually going to do, because they don't have the balls that Pat Bowlen had. The balls that Pat Bowlen had to tell his staff, no, this is not working out. This is what I want. This is the direction. So that's number one. They really need to bring in a backup. C.J. Beathard, right? C.J. Beathard is coming up. And I got 2 quarterbacks. I got an article about 6 of them, but I'm going to narrow it down to 2. And I'm going to tell you who I would bring in. I know it's never going to happen. They have number 2 is Cody Kessler. Kessler actually had a bad camp, and I don't see him as much improvement to the other 2 we got. But you got C.J. Beathard, but he probably would come with a draft pick. And quite frankly, I don't think he's worth a draft pick. But I think one guy you could get without a draft pick, and I think he's a step above all the others, and somebody is Slaughter. We know he's got great pocket awareness. He's definitely a huge step up from Hogan or Rypien. And it's his pocket awareness. This guy has, of course, been the dragon slayer of the number 3 squads, but think about it. He's always done good with a lot less talent around him. Imagine what he could do with upper echelon talent. The Denver Broncos should bring in Slaughter. Forget C.J. Beathard. Bring in Slaughter and swallow your pride, but John Elway won't do it. This is where Pat Bowlen comes in. Even C.J. Beathard would be, just that alone, probably would be monumental for the Broncos to admit that what they got isn't going to work. I mean, it would be a step in the right direction, but I think Slaughter is your best. He has the most. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know much about there are others, except I knew that Cody Kessler is not having a good camp. There's no reason to even put him as number 2. I don't really get that. I don't know about the Chargers or the Panthers back up here, or some of these others, but I do know Slaughter, and I do know the dude has pocket awareness like there's no other. And I think that, he should be given. And quite frankly, I'll be honest with you. I don't think they're going to bring in Slaughter because he probably could seriously challenge. He could probably seriously challenge Locke in a real quarterback competition. One thing that you get with Slaughter that you don't get with Locke is, brains. Slaughter ain't going to be doing stupid things. Like getting himself injured, doing a holy roller. So, I say you bring in Slaughter. It's long overdue. He should have never, and everybody knows that they shouldn't have cut him. But again, the Broncos, just the way they are, it's not Pat Bowlen. It's not a Pat Bowlen situation anymore. This is one of these areas where you can say, we miss Pat Bowlen. Because Pat Bowlen wouldn't put up with this bullshit. The special teams, he wouldn't put up with the bullshit. There's a lot of shit that's going on with the Denver Broncos that Pat Bowlen would never signed on to. And it's, again, one of the glaring problems with the Denver Broncos moving forward. And I think it's going to keep being a glaring problem for the Broncos because, owners like Pat Bowlen, you don't come across them very often. But the Broncos should pick up Slaughter. I know, and the reason I believe it because I think he's the smartest of all these quarterbacks. He's got the best pocket awareness of all these quarterbacks. I think you actually give him some talent around him, he'll actually even accelerate, not just stay the same. And that's where I think he is a better fit, a better pickup than Beathard. I think Beathard has hit his ceiling. And I think Slaughter has yet to hit that because he hasn't had the chance to work with anybody but threes. Time to bring in Slaughter.